Hello, everyone. My name is Mark Edward Blanton with The Real South Africa.
And I am Dr. Latasha Blanton, also with The Real South Africa.
We have an amazing group trip that you will be interested in. It's with the African Diaspora News Channel, a great YouTube channel, gives you great information about what's going on in Africa. But we have a group trip featuring Phil Scott, the host.
And the trip is going to take place on March 16th through the 25th. It's going to go to Johannesburg and Cape Town, and It's in 2022. If you're interested in traveling, please send an email to info@therealsouthafrica.com.
And we'll see you here in sunny South Africa.
So Black Americans are less likely to receive responses to emails they send, according to a new research from a team that included John Holbein, a professor of public policy, politics, and education at the University of Virginia's Frank Batten School of Leadership and Public Policy. Now, the study, which was published late last month in the peer-reviewed proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, is one of the largest to date on racial bias in the U.S. in contrast with previous studies. It shows that everyday discrimination against Black people in America is widespread, cutting across geographic regions, racial groups, and political parties. Now, they said discrimination appears to be the norm rather than the exception. The research is right. Yes, it is the norm because America was built on that. This is who America really is. Discrimination, racism, white supremacy, and they teach anybody that come into this country to treat Black people in that manner, no matter who they are, even other Black people that come here. They teach them to treat Black Americans in particular that way. I have had my brothers and sisters who are immigrants that came in from African countries, Caribbean countries, Latin America. They said that they try to tell them to stay away from Black Americans. They poison their minds on us immediately. No matter the Indian people, Asian people, no matter who they are, they come in here and say, don't be around Black people. If you want to be near any kind of whiteness, you better treat them like we treat them. This is why Dr. John Henrik Clarke said we have no friends. We don't. Because all these other groups want to get close to whiteness. They want to stay far away from Black America. And this is all we have, and that's fine. We all we need anyway. Because you got some silly Negroes. We need a coalition of all these different groups. Yes, I've heard one of them say that to me yesterday when I was in one of those rooms on the Clubhouse app. You got Black folks believe you need everybody else to fight for you. And that is so silly and asinine because everybody else is concerned about their own communities. They're not concerned about you. You need to be concerned about you. We built this freaking country. We didn't have all those other people helping us build the country, right? So we built a freaking country. Then surely we can fight for ourselves and do for ourselves. I hate all that old weak worm of the dust talk coming from Black folks, especially when I hear Black men talking like that. It really runs through me. It's embarrassing to hear Black men talk like that. Now, they said there was far too many instances of overt and hostile acts, against Black Americans, but those are not as common as sending and responding to an email, they were saying. The research team emailed 250,000 people from across the country, drawing recipients from voter registration databases. It said previous research has found that in email exchange, elites such as landlords, hiring managers, doctors, and government officials discriminate against Black Americans. Okay? So they say for this reason, the researchers divided recipients into two groups, elected officials and the general public. They said we didn't know the extent to which the discrimination happens among average people, and we want to see if the fact that elected officials discriminate aligns with what the constituents do. Now, they say each email came from either an Black or white sender. It said people with the white names receive 1.6% response rate, while Black people that have a Black sounding name receive 1.4%. If the difference seems small, they said that that's only because so few people respond to emails, but put in terms of odds, black senators were 15.5% less likely to receive a response than white senators. Now, white people weren't the only ones who discriminate. It said we find this pattern in other racial and ethnic minorities as well. They're suggesting this discrimination is broad than we may have realized in the past. Yes, you can't just put it all on white folks. You can't. Because like I told you earlier, it's taught when you come to this country, you better discriminate. You better not like black people. You better hate black people. That's what you better do. Don't join with them. Don't work with them. Now, I'm saying as a group. I'm not saying individuals. They have individuals of all groups that like to be cool with black people, don't hate black people, and all of that. Individuals. But when it comes to the actual groups, no. These other groups care about themselves. And they want to make sure they stay in good with the white man. Bottom line. And how they stay in good with him is they got to treat us ugly. They finesse. They'll call themselves people of color when they're trying to get some government set-asides. But after all they get the set-asides, they still want to be over there with them. They don't want to be over here with us. Now, they say only one racial group responded equally to black senators. Now, who's that one racial group? Other black people. Oh, boy. On every level, micro or macro level, right? Racism is there in this country because that's the way the country was created. I told you, it's a wicked spirit over this country. It's a demonic spirit. That spirit of hate that these people have in this country, that's a demonic spirit. That is not nothing to do with God at all. This is why when you leave this country, you feel like a weight come off your shoulders because it's a spirit that hovers over this country. I'm telling you, anybody that has traveled anywhere outside this country, don't go anywhere. The moment you get out of here, you feel that stress off of you. You feel that pressure off of you. You feel like you're more free. You know what I'm saying? Inside and out, you just feel free. It's because there's an oppressive, demonic spirit that's over America. That's what that is, what you're feeling. Now, they said the researchers also found that discrimination wasn't any higher in the South. Instead, it was spread fairly evenly across the country. They say what we see is that it happens pretty much everywhere. Because, you know, they try to say, oh, them Southern white people, they so racist. Oh, them white people in the South. The research say the South is all of America. That's the South. Since you're trying to put a label on Southern white folks. No, all of them is the same way, according to the research. So we just wanted to just report this to you, you know, once again to just confirm some things. Now, most black folks say, well, shoot, what's our favorite term? I'm not surprised. You know, I mean, sometimes I even get tired of hearing that term, but I get it. Why you saying you're not surprised? But because we're not surprised, we should be doing a lot more in our community to get together, stop arguing so much over so many silly things. It just makes me... The black community here in America sometimes just... I think the biggest thing that... It's two things I noticed that will holds up progress for me. Identity issues. Because if you don't know who you are, you always going to have a problem. Everybody's trying to figure out who they are. Some of you say you're Native American. Some of you say you're Hebrew Israelite. Some of you say, you are different ADOS. You say you're FBA. You say I'm just some people say I'm African. Some people, we say all these different things about identity. And realizing doing this identity thing constantly, just for me, is holding up progress. How I look at it, okay. Are you born in America? Yes. Well, obviously, I'm black, you black. We all on the same team, right? So can we just at least say, okay, we're all black Americans. We were born here. We should be all on the same team about that, right? Let's do something here. Now, some of us, not all, believe that we should connect globally with other black people and work with them to, have that mutual benefit of unity and connection, right? So that group of black people, should be the ones that connect and bring everybody together and do the things that they're going to do, right? Like I told people a long time ago, there's nothing wrong with just having a group that's domestic and a group that's focused on the international side. You can do both, because some things I think y'all caught up on is that you either do one or the other. No, you don't do one or the other. If you feel that your work is domestic, do the domestic work. I'm with you. I support domestic work, and I also support international work too. And I don't think we should be attacking somebody because they feel that the work is international. And I don't think we should be attacking somebody because they feel some of the work they feel that they're called to do is domestic. And then some people like me, I want to see the domestic work done and the international work done. And none of y'all gonna put me in a box. You can't do that to me. I can walk in both worlds. I can walk in the world of Black America, and I can walk in the world of being a Black American internationally. And I make sure I represent that everywhere I go. No one disrespect Black America. No, it ain't happening. Understand? And some people who want to do the international work sometimes will allow certain things to be said about Black America. I won't let that go down. So just as vicious as some people could be about Black America, I'm the same way. But I know how to articulate it in a way to say, wait, let me educate you on the educational side. Let me show you where you're wrong at. And then, okay, if you say, man, well, I didn't realize I was saying it like that, man, it's I'm not trying to mean it that way. Okay, yeah, I forgive you, because you know what? I will forgive Black people quickly. I will forgive them because I don't have that inner white supremacist in me. But those of you that have the inner white supremacist in you, they say something to you that you don't like. Oh, I ain't fooling with them. No, like Black Americans don't say something to you, or vice versa. If it's an immigrant that come in here and a Black American say something to you, see, that's why I don't fool with them Black Americans. They got people in your own country saying stuff to you. Stop having that inner white supremacist in your heart. I know that's your bastardized father. That's why you respond to Black people the way you do, because he taught you that. He taught you that, and you got to root that evil out of you, because that's evil. What the white supremacist taught you is evil. You got to get that root of evil and corruption out of your heart for your people. That's why until you do that, we will never be able to work together. Never. I see some, that's why I even hate some things on social media. I see on those clubhouse rooms sometime, and I'm just breezing by in there. Some of the discussions, how all the arguing and carrying on about each other. It can be the other Africans arguing with each other. It ain't got to be no Black Americans being involved with that. Africans and Black Americans arguing. I'm like, listen to what y'all doing. I say the white man sat up here just laughing at the both of y'all, laughing at y'all, because he put that in you to be against each other like that. He put it in you. Notice he joins with his white folks overseas. You notice he do that, right? What's that thing called? NATO? Or they work together real quick. But yet you don't want to work together? But understand, this system is against us globally. So we need to understand that. But leave me a comment. Let us think about this particular story. But we're going to, definitely one thing we're going to do, we're going to make it. Trust me, we got nowhere to go but up. These people could be who they are. They can be discriminatory. They can teach the world to hate us. But you know what? That's steadily backfiring on him every single day. Living in America as a Black person, you recognize there is one set of laws for you and one set of laws for those, especially in the white community. In our book, Passive Aggressive Racism in the System of White Supremacy, I take you through times in my life when I first started noticing white supremacy. We teach you how to recognize it, identify it, and also counter it in our book. This book is a beginner's course for those that are just starting to wake up and open their eyes to see the system of white supremacy. As a Black American person, you must understand this system, because this system is life or death to you. how you handle it, how you deal with it. It can affect your mental health if you don't understand this system. Pick up our book, Passive Aggressive Racism and the System of White Supremacy, today on Amazon. Colonization never ended in the white supremacist system. And as we see today, the colonization is in the mind. Now, those who have been enslaved and those who have been colonized, we're still dealing with the remnants of that through the colonization of the mind. Pick up my book, 7 Steps to Decolonize the Mind, and we will help deprogram you from the colonization that was put upon you by generations and generations of white supremacy. You can pick it up today on Amazon.com.